Yeah, right.
Pacific Crest Trail, 2,600 miles, Mexico to Canada.
Yeah.
Like, are you doing the entire thing?
That's the goal.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's like fire, snow, a lot of things that could kick me off the trail, but right now the goal is to do it all the way.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, all the forest fires
Yeah.
going on there.
It was bad. I was watching videos, people doing it last year, and in Oregon, it's just smoky. Yeah. But I think going early is going to help with that because the fires usually start in like July and August. And if I can get through Oregon in June and beat the fires.
Like once you're like trained, dude, and you can mess somebody up and you're confident, like Joe Rogan has said and a lot of people have said on podcasts, a lot of fighters on MMA like interviews, they've said like once they hit that point of when they're comfortable, that's when they feel no need to start anything.
Yes.
Like they don't need to start a fight, they don't need to start confrontation because they feel comfortable with themselves.
Because they don't have to prove anything to anybody except themselves, and they've already proved what they need to prove to themselves.
Exactly.
So there's no need to even like pursue it. That's actually.
We were just having a normal conversation and mentioned how girls are really dramatic, and you guys came down here and started being dramatic. Thank you for that.
It's not us.
You bet.
Point proven. No, if I told the story, you would all be like, "What the fuck?"
I didn't want to be like, I don't know. I didn't want to be sexist because a lot of girls get offended by it.
Do what?
Yeah,
we shotgun. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
I think that whole
you missed it. Yeah, that was a pretty.
But what are your thoughts on that? We need some girls.
Are girls dramatic?
Yes.
Is that the question?
They are.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm the most dramatic person I know.
Why?
I'm very dramatic too.
You think you hold grudges more than guys do?
Yes. I think we do.
It depends. I think it depends.
Oh, I'll bring up something that happened 2 years ago.
Well, absolutely.
But if I did something a month ago and you bring it up, I'm
done.
Like, don't bring it up. Yeah, you're done.
Like you're not. We got over that a month ago. What are you talking
about? You're not getting laid tonight.
Oh yeah,
if you're bringing up something I did, but I just have to say that girl from a year ago though that you looked at the bar.
Yeah.
Double standard.
Oh yeah, so bad.
Definitely.
So bad.
For sure.
Every time, no, that is me like to a T. Like I'm like, oh, you want me to stay in while you go to the bars? Fuck no, but you better stay in while I go to the bars.
But
you're crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think it's important to kind of like as you have an intention to grow in life. I think it's important to kind of stop and reflect. Like, in what ways have you grown as a person? Like over the past year, over the past 5 years, or whatever it is.
Yeah, a lot of it for me is just like awareness of like trying to cut out bad habits and build good habits, and like just knowing what is a bad habit and what's not helping you, what's tearing you down, and what is helping you and needs like is making you better. You know.
Okay.
And a lot of that is from like relationships that I've had. So not necessarily like I had any bad relationship. It's just that this person isn't affecting my life positively, or it's just, I don't know. They're tearing me down more than they're bringing me up. So
you've gotten better at dealing with like toxic people and energy depleting people.
Yeah, and not just like dealing with them, just more like finding like what they're like, why I do like spending time with that person, or like just focusing on, oh, this person is good to hang out with for fun, this person's good to study with, or just different stuff like that. So just taking the best out of people and like using that to help myself, kind of. Okay.
Like found the best in other people and almost applied their strengths to your personality?
Yeah, in a sense, more of just like, I don't know, knowing them better so that I can know myself a little bit better too. Like,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it starts in Mexico, right?
Yeah, it's called Campo. It's a city on the Mexico-California border.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, and so you start there, and then you go through like 700 miles of desert, and then you hit like a mountain range called the Sierra Nevada, and those are like 10,000 feet-ish. I mean, I think there's some 14ers, and then the highest peak in the lower 48's in there, Mount Whitney.
Are you still in California whenever you're hitting that? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'll do Mount Whitney. So we'll like kind of leave our stuff at the base, walk up, and then walk back down for a day. And then you go through the Sierra, and then you hit like Northern California and Oregon where it gets pretty flat. And so by that point, you're doing like 30-mile days. You're like cruising, cranking out miles. And then once you get through Oregon, which most people like cruise through Oregon in like a month,
Really?
which is insane. Yeah.
So the main stretch is just California.
Yeah, like
Not just
you
California,
hit. Well, I mean,
California.
you hit the halfway point and you're still in California.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
then-
long stay.
Yeah. But the very end is the Cascade Mountain Range. So it's again like you're going up and down a lot, and it can get cold if you're
Okay.
there late, like like mid-September towards like the beginning of October. It can be like rainy every day and like 30 degrees. So like it can be dangerous.
Damn.
But that's why I'm leaving in March.
That's smart. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that yesterday.
So-
That's a really good time to leave.
Well,
And that's where every insecurity comes from. And I think what you're trying to find is what we were talking about, that perfect balance between humility and confidence. That perfect balance to where maybe you've had that humility and now you have the confidence, but you don't want to have too much confidence. So you need to have that perfect, I guess, like you just need to be humble, you know?
Yeah.
Once you've became great in anything, like with money or with fighting or, you know, training or being stronger or whatever, once you have that, I think being humble is one of the most important things. You know, it's one of the best human characteristics. Like,
And even
you
early
could
on
have.
too.
Yeah.
It's important the entire way, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Early on, it's important to find the humility to identify your weaknesses, your insecurities, and be like, that's what I need to improve on. And from here, you accept your flaws, and then you move forward.
Yeah.
And then whenever you do that, you take action towards that. It breeds confidence, a lot of confidence.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. And like you were saying, how like when you're like if you were in a bar and that guy that you're looking at, or that guy that's looking at you, or say he bumps you, you know, and you're at that level of perfect balance and you feel confident to where you could beat him in a fight, or if he's messing with you and you're just like, man, I'm gonna let that pass because, you know, I'm not insecure about it. And it's those insecure people, which everybody's insecure. I'm not saying I'm not insecure or you're not insecure, but it's those really, really insecure people that have a need to start fights. And if you've ever been bullied or anything, then you know you've felt that extra pressure, which everybody's probably been picked on a little bit. I mean,
I hate losing. Like I don't care what I'm
That's
playing.
the thing. Even today,
If I'm playing ping pong, I hate losing.
well, we played
Like,
golf today, and
Yeah.
I was low-key trying to play it off, but I don't know. I just hate losing. We lost by one stroke, and I was just bitter the whole time.
And it's like
If I would've-
recreational, and it still
yeah.
irks you.
It's
If I
like
would've
it's
hit-
$5 on the line. Like,
If I
just
would
$5. Like,
yeah,
like,
if I would have chipped that like a little bit closer, putted that much closer, we would have tied or won. So I don't know. I think that's a good thing, better than a bad
it's
thing.
definitely a good thing. Like wanting to win in everything just makes you better.
Just makes you successful.
Yeah.
So do you guys like winning more, or do you hate losing? Like, do you hate losing more than you love winning, or love
That's a
winning
hard
more than you
question.
hate losing?
That's a hard question.
I don't know.
I'd have
I've
to
heard
have-
that asked before too, but I've never like thought that through.
Well, when people ask me on my top, like, I don't know, my mom's asked me before or something, like, what my top 3 things I hate are, and losing's definitely one of them. So I'd say I'd probably hate losing more.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard question, but like the feeling of like the love of winning, and like after you won something and you feel like proud of yourself, it kind of comes and then goes.
It goes
but-
away. Right
but
away almost.
Like, dude, like losing can eat you up for years.
Yeah.
Like, you can think about that shit for years.
Exactly. If you ain't first or last, so. I mean,
Wise
I'd
words of
rather
Ricky
win.
Bobby.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what the hell that means. Well, you can be second, you can be third,
You could even be fourth. Great movie.
Great movie.
Families that way. So I thought that was extremely interesting. Just kind of wondered if you had thought about stuff like that, or I'm sure you had.
Kind of like the aspect of getting off the grid.
Yeah, and after watching that show, I've thought about like maybe going and spending like 6 months somewhere, like see what I can do, if I can survive, or I don't know. Just
Honestly,
like seeing what you can learn from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
you can learn a lot, I bet.
And just be like self-sufficient and know that you don't need anything if it came down to it or something, you know. So
Not being dependent on the rest of
Yeah.
civilization.
yeah, or like
That
yeah.
independence.
I'm not dependent on Price Cutter to put vegetables out on Saturdays so that I can eat that week or something, you know.
Right,
like,
right.
I don't know. So
That would
I just think that's really cool, and I think that's the way. Like, I think a lot of those sustainable practices are where like human humans are gonna like go like down the future. Like our kids are gonna move away from like just move away from the more industrial age, and like I don't know. I think the human population is gonna get smaller after like a long time, or it'll level out or something. So the sustainable practices will become a lot more like used and appreciated down the road as we evolve as a species.
That makes a lot of sense, because I think people we're starting to come to an age where we're really realistically we're in the adolescent stages of this phase, that people are starting to become a lot more informed. I think there's starting to be a very slow but real global shift in consciousness amongst most human beings, and I think that might start. That might shift, like, it'll definitely shift some culture of a lot of people, where it'll become a trend or a lifestyle trend that people will start to take up a lot more for whatever reasons. I think the internet's going to expose a lot more people to that, so that they see that as an option, you know? Like,
yeah, it's communication. Like, the internet just allows everybody on the earth to communicate with each other at any moment. So, like, any ideas spread quick, or just like you were saying, just knowing more, like how that's like once the internet was convinced, like that's how we've moved. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, everybody can know a lot more now just because it's all accessible. It's like it wasn't before.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd probably say Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a pretty cool figure.
Yeah. It's like I've been reading this book on him, and just like how he hit the ground running with the kingdom that his father left him behind, and then just dominated the largest portion of the world anyone's seen next to Rome.
Didn't he?
It's crazy.
He conquered the Persian Empire, right?
He conquered everything.
Really?
Everything in existence, basically.
Yeah, he basically went from Greece all the way to Egypt.
He went
to India,
Greece, to I think through Germany, then to Egypt, then throughout like Asia Minor, and into Persia, like India.
Okay.
Like until like the river that separates India.
I think he actually conquered more than Rome.
No, Rome definitely conquered more, but they just like expanded on his borders, basically.
Actually, yeah, peak Roman Empire would be.
Yeah.
But probably conquered. I think he conquered more like in a single lifetime than like.
Oh yeah, than anyone ever.
No, I don't. Genghis Khan, I think, has conquered more.
I was wondering.
I'm pretty sure Genghis Khan conquered.
Genghis Khan came before him.
I want to look.
He came before Alexander the Great.
Yeah, because
no way, really.
Because that's where pole vaulting came from. Was Genghis Khan?
No shit.
They did like a version of pole vaulting.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool sport.
Yeah, but just like the way that some certain people have just this authoritarian, you know, alpha, like they're an alpha person.
Right.
Like they command the respect of people.
What's like the overall goal of doing this? Like what do you hope to gain?
Yeah, no, definitely. I probably, the thing I hope to gain the most is just like personal growth. Like it's a lot about just setting a goal and proving to myself that if I really want to do something, it doesn't matter how hard it is or how big of a task it is, like I can just do it.
Anything. And that applies to anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
no, it's kind of like using this trip as like a metaphor for the rest of my life, like proving to myself and giving myself the confidence that if I really want something, like I really want to do this hike, I can just do it as long as I'm willing to put in the work.
Right.